If you are pregnant and having a terrible time deciding whether to have a baby or have an abortion, almost as if you were split in two, you're in the right place. I'm Charlotte Taft. I have counseled with hundreds of women before and after abortion. In the past 2 decades, I have worked with dozens of women struggling with this kind of deep ambivalence. Although every story is unique, the women who are split about their pregnancies often share a similar profile. Many are in their 30s, are married or have partners, already have children they love, have a history of depression and often painful childhoods, are perfectionists, have a difficult time making big decisions, are very hard on themselves, and second-guess themselves constantly. Some are feeling pressured to decide one way or another by a family member or even what they perceive as societal norms. Some of them become pregnant intentionally, or at least were open to becoming pregnant, and then were overwhelmed with fear when they did. For some, the idea that this could be their last opportunity to have a new baby is very powerful. But of course, the split is there too. One voice says, maybe this is my last chance, I'd better take it. The other says, I don't want to start at the baby stage all over again. What makes things more complicated is that the troubling issues are not just in the present. It seems that the split is usually triggering a painful split that began in their childhood. Do you recognize yourself in any of this? I want you to know that I believe in you and your choices. I support you in doing what you decide is best for you and your life, whether that's having an abortion if you're certain about your decision or having a baby. These materials represent my personal opinions gathered from years of experience counseling with women. Each person is different. There is no guarantee as to outcome. My counsel is not intended to replace the advice of your physician or any other trusted advisors. It is my hope that every person who needs this kind of help will find this video series, so please share this information with your friends. You never know who is struggling with unresolved feelings. If you are suffering from emotional or psychiatric illness, depression, or suicidal thoughts, please complete this process under the care and guidance of a trusted counselor or physician. Please don't listen to the recordings while driving. Most pregnant women know relatively easily what choice is best for them. They are able to resolve their concerns and make a decision they can live with. But for some women, pregnancy poses a terrible dilemma. No matter how much they talk or think about it, they have a dreadful time coming to a choice that feels right. They are so deeply split that no matter what they do, it seems almost impossible for them to make a decision they feel sure about. In this video, it's my goal to relieve some of the anxiety you may have been feeling as you focus on making what seems like an impossible choice. I know you have been trying to figure out what is the right decision. But what if there is no right or wrong decision? What if there are just two different paths to travel? I know you are stuck at the intersection. It may help you to remember that there are joys and sorrows down each life path, because that is the reality of life. I'm going to urge you to take your focus off the decision and to imagine that in the long run, you and your family will truly be all right no matter what choice you make about this pregnancy. It may be hard for you to believe this, but I trust that you will make the right choice for you. I don't mean to minimize or make light of the complications in your life. If there weren't complications, you probably wouldn't be considering abortion. I understand that if you have a baby, you may have some really tough times ahead for a while. And I understand that if you have an abortion, you may also have some tough times ahead for a while. Let's work on finding the very best of both possibilities and healing the split. The split you have been experiencing for so much of your life that makes it so hard for you to make important decisions and so hard not to doubt yourself afterwards is likely a coping mechanism you adopted to protect yourself in your childhood. Though there are many scenarios which could lead a child to be divided, a likely one is a situation in which one parent is dominant or abusive, and the other isn't able to stand up for or protect the child. In order to survive, the child develops one strategy to manage her relationship with one parent and a second strategy to manage her relationship with the other parent. No matter what she does, she experiences constant anxiety. It's like the song, "You can't win, you can't break even, and you can't get out of the game." The pregnancy triggers this old division because the woman is on the threshold of either having another baby, often the safe or secure preference of the heart, or moving more into the life of an adult, which provides the freedom, independence, and autonomy preferred by the head. Once again, she is attempting to serve two different and seemingly antagonistic realities. Before we continue, let's use a test that can give an idea of how you might respond to having an abortion. This is not to suggest what decision you should make. It's not a scientific test. It is based on my anecdotal experience, but it seems to be a very accurate predictor. There are only 13 questions in this test, and you will be answering 1, 2, or 3. So pause this video and get a piece of paper and pen. The test is called "How Are You Likely to Handle an Abortion?" The following questions may help anticipate how you might react in the short term to having an abortion. Number 1 through 13 on your paper. You can activate the closed caption feature to see the questions on the screen. You'll answer 1 if the statement is false for you, 2 if the statement is somewhat true, and 3 if the statement is true for you. Here's the first question. I feel very divided about my choice. It's as though there are two parts of me that want two different things. So that's 1 if it's false, 2 if it's somewhat true, or 3 if that seems true for you. 2. I wish someone else would rescue me from this situation or decide for me. 3. I don't honestly think my reasons for having an abortion are good enough. 4. I'm a perfectionist and I frequently second guess myself and have a hard time forgiving myself. 5. I have suffered from anxiety or depression in the past or suffered significant previous trauma. 6. Since I've been pregnant, I have been in a panic, depressed, or very anxious. I think having an abortion might stop the anxiety. 7. I have not allowed myself to imagine having this baby. I try not to think about it. 8. I don't believe in abortion for myself, but I have to do it. This goes against anything I ever expected to do. 9. I have had an appointment, or more than one, at an abortion clinic already and not been able to go through with it. 10. This is probably my last opportunity to be pregnant and have a new baby. 11. This question is for if you are already a parent. My whole life has been about being a great mother. During this pregnancy, for the first time, I thought I might not want to start all over again. 12. I am afraid I may regret having an abortion afterwards. But if I don't have an abortion, I think I might regret that even more. 13. I have seen a doctor for prenatal care during this pregnancy. Now, add up your numbers, and here's how to interpret your score. If you scored between 13 and 18, in my experience, this score suggests that you may be able to handle and resolve any emotional conflicts you have if you choose abortion. I recommend that you watch my 3-part YouTube video, Before Abortion, Making a Choice You Can Live With, and talk over your feelings about anything that is troubling you with a counselor. It's up to you to be sure you're confident in your choice before you have an abortion. If you scored between 19 and 24, in my experience, this score suggests that you may have some difficulty dealing with the decision to have an abortion. What if you have an abortion and then regret it? Again, I recommend that you watch my 3-part YouTube video, Before Abortion, Making a Choice You Can Live With, and talk over your feelings about anything that is troubling you with a counselor. I also urge you to have support available in the form of a counselor or therapist, and to be sure that you have a friend or relative who knows before the abortion that you might be at risk for emotional difficulties afterwards. If you decide to have an abortion, you should be prepared for the possibility of some hard times that you will need to work through. If you scored between 25 and 39, in my experience, this score suggests that there are major aspects of abortions that are troubling you. It is very possible that you will have significant emotional difficulty coming to terms with an abortion if that is your choice. This could manifest as extreme regret and self-punishment. For many women with this score, the pregnancy is triggering old, unhealed trauma. So the difficulties you are experiencing may only be in part related to your current life. If you decide to have an abortion, especially if you are not actually sure about it, you should be prepared for the possibility of some hard times, perhaps similar to a very severe postpartum depression. It can help to work on bringing the split parts together with therapeutic help. With this score, it would be very important to put a support system in place if you decide to have an abortion. This could include making sure you have a counselor or therapist available to you, involving your partner or other significant other in the process, and making sure that you have whatever support you need to give you some time off after having an abortion if you should need that, and to assist you if you already have children to care for. It is important that you realize that you are responsible for your own emotional and mental health. In my experience, it may be very difficult for you to come to a decision you feel confident about. Here's another way to see this split. Have you ever been on a diet? It seems that I am all the time. Let's pretend I'm on a diet and my favorite treat, a hot fudge sundae, is right in front of me. I'm hearing 2 voices in my head. One says, "You love this, you deserve it. Who cares if you weigh a little bit more? Life is short. Enjoy yourself." What do you suppose the other voice is saying? Yup, don't eat that. You have no willpower. No one will like you if you're fat. Don't eat that. So what if I eat the ice cream? What voice do I hear? That's right. I only hear the one that says I did the wrong thing and that I'm bad. Well, where did that other voice go? I don't really know, but it is gone. When you're split, as you know, you also have 2 voices. One says that you shouldn't have a baby, so abortion is the best choice for you. The other voice says that it's best for you to have a baby. When a split woman has an abortion, the only voice she hears afterwards is that she is bad, that she murdered her baby, that she can never be forgiven, and that she can never forgive herself. The other voice is in hiding. Together, we will work with both parts of you so that you can hear and appreciate both voices and trust whatever choice you make. There are only two possible futures, no matter how much your brain may be saying, but what if or if only. The probable reality is that you will either have a baby or you will have an abortion. No matter how much you may be praying for or wishing for a miscarriage, it is very unlikely that you will have one. If it were that simple, there would be no need for abortion clinics. Instead of focusing on your impossible decision, let's work on how to resolve whatever impediments you might have to having a baby and whatever impediments you might have to having an abortion so that you could make either choice. When I was the director of an abortion clinic, I helped develop an approach to counseling we called head and heart counseling, or abortion resolution counseling. With this approach, which you will find in my first 3 videos, we explore a variety of thoughts and feelings about abortion. As I've said, I recommend that you watch those videos, but they may not bring you any closer to a decision. My hunch is that you have already gone over every possible argument. You know your story and your life better than anyone else. I don't have any magic new information to add to the pros and cons that you have already been over and over in your brain like a hamster running on its wheel, going nowhere. I can't tell you anything you don't know, but I hope that continuing to work to bring the two parts of you together can let you know that you and your family can have a good life no matter which decision you make. I also want to be very clear about some ideas that may seem contradictory. I believe that women who get abortions want abortions. That means I think women who decide it is best not to bring a life into the world through their body usually find a way to be true to that decision. If abortion is what you decide is best for you, even if you know you are likely to have a very difficult immediate reaction, you will probably find a way to get one. Even when a woman says she regrets her abortion and wants her baby back, it is my belief that at least 51% of that person who went to the clinic, paid the money, signed the forms, and got up on the table wanted to have an abortion. And she honored the part that believed it was best. But after the abortion, their split often makes them deny the part of them that made that choice, like the ice cream story. After an abortion, they may sink into misery because they believe if they punish themselves, it proves they are still good. They might even believe that their suffering and self-judgment are well deserved because they're being punished for doing something so terrible, something that they thought was the best thing to do. It's hard being split. After an abortion, it is important to make a connection with the part of yourself that believed that abortion was the most kind, loving, and responsible decision. At my clinic, we believed that being ethical meant providing care to women who could own their decision, who were confident about their decision. For such a woman, abortion is a blessing. We offered as much counseling as we could to assist women in finding resolution. And we didn't do abortions for women who were not confident. But I saw that women who were split, who wanted an abortion, would keep on going from clinic to clinic until they found someone who didn't ask them about their feelings. When a split woman has an abortion and feels regret afterwards, she often wants to blame someone else for her unhappiness. She might blame the man involved or the clinic, or she might even blame the counselor she worked with, or she might just blame legal abortion. This blame and regret have become weapons that the anti-abortion people use to try to make abortion illegal. But we all know that having a difficult time after an experience doesn't mean it should be illegal. It just means we're human. With women who are split, as with other women, their head may be saying one thing and their head another. The split means that each side has its mirror image, and each side is powerful. Often they have made appointments with clinics and not been able to go through with an abortion, and also appointments with their OB/GYN. They may have set a limit of how far in pregnancy is their deadline to decide, and then moved that deadline forward each time they made a new appointment. They're frantic to make a decision, yet some of them have waited until they are at the very legal limit of being able to have an abortion to decide. That's the only way they could. There may not be time to do the therapeutic work to heal a split before a decision has to be made, or a woman may not find a counselor who can help her do that until after she has an abortion. Because a woman who feels deep regret rarely calls the clinic back to tell them, this phenomenon has really been invisible. There wasn't anyone who understood what these women were experiencing. But these women, maybe you, have found me, and I know what you're going through. I hope this helps you understand a little bit more about what a split woman might expect if she chooses abortion. But understanding isn't enough to heal the grief or to heal the split that has caused you difficulty for so many years. The blessing next to the wound could be that you get some counseling to heal that emotional split that has plagued you all through your life. Of course, you will make your own decision. That is both your right and your responsibility. But I will repeat my strong belief that abortion care is for women who can truly own their choice with confidence. Again, this is not to advise you on what to do. That is entirely up to you. Rather, it is to prepare you for what I suspect you already secretly know, that for you, having an abortion would mean rough times and significant work ahead. Abortion can be a loving and responsible choice, and it is also not the best choice for every woman. Having an abortion means not bringing a new life into the world. It allows you to reset your life and to examine where you are and where you want to be. But having an abortion doesn't magically put you back in time to before you got pregnant, because pregnancy changes you. Abortion doesn't solve all your problems, and it doesn't take away anxiety. But working on those things with a counselor can. You are the manager of your life, so you have a lot to say about how you will honor what is lost as well as what is new. If I asked you who is in charge of your thoughts, you would probably say me. But when we are on autopilot and just living our daily lives, as most of us do most of the time, your thoughts will just go down old familiar paths. It can almost seem as though your thoughts are thinking themselves. But you are having the thoughts. There is no it that is happening to you. You are happening to you. Your thoughts may be very self-critical, or may tell you that you are a victim, or may be looking for who to blame for the painful feelings you're having. You know, your thoughts create your feelings. So if you're feeling bad, notice what thoughts you're having and what interpretations you're making. Let's look at feelings. Core words for feelings are happy, sad, angry, scared, and ashamed. When we say I feel like or I feel that, we're not actually going to tell you a feeling, we're going to tell you a thought. So if I say I feel like you want to control me, it's more accurate to say I think you want to control me. When I think you want to control me, I feel angry, scared, and ashamed. As you're working through this process, use those core feeling words and be aware again that your thoughts, in other words, the interpretations you are making, create your feelings. No matter how well we plan, if you have an abortion, it is very possible that at least at first you will only hear the critical voice. These are some of the things split women have written or said to me after their abortions. That wasn't me who did that. I could never do that. I should have taken more time. This was after hours of counseling. I should have talked to Aunt Sally or someone. She would have convinced me that I could have the baby. The clinic should have known I didn't want to do it. I'd already been there twice. There's sometimes that need to blame someone else. I can never forgive myself. I don't even deserve to be with my children. My husband will never look at me the same way as a good woman and loving wife and mother. This is the worst thing I have ever done. I've murdered my child. I want my baby back. With thoughts like these, it is inevitable to feel scared, angry, sad, and ashamed. If someone thinks they have done something wrong, they are likely to punish themselves. So healing after an abortion requires you to remember that you are a good human being doing the best you can, and that you are worthy of forgiveness. If a split woman decides to have an abortion, it is critical that she have sustained and available support afterwards, and that she have a counselor with the skill to assist her in reconnecting with that other part of her, hearing that other voice, to assist her in forgiving herself and remembering her own goodness. The process of working through these disturbing feelings can almost feel like a trip through hell. Although it is painful, the trip through hell can serve as a journey to find yourself, a crucible, which the dictionary defines as a situation of severe trial leading to the creation of something, or I would add someone, new. This has been a lot to take in. You may feel overwhelmed. Forgive yourself for being human. I am too. I don't have all the answers, but I hope together we can find our way. You can listen to the second Woman Split in Two video right away if you want, or give yourself some time to let this all sink in and make sense. The guided imagery that follows will take about 10 minutes. It allows you an opportunity for the two parts of you to meet. Be sure you're in a private place where you won't be interrupted. Get comfortable sitting or lying down with your head supported. You can activate the closed caption if you need to see the questions on the screen. Now close your eyes. Take a deep breath and hold it for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Then let it out with a sigh. Good. Take a few more breaths like this, breathing in peace and breathing out fear. The two parts you are experiencing have been with you for many years. Think of all the times that has been so hard to make a decision. It might seem as though they are in combat, but it is a wonderful thing to know that all your parts are trying to help you. Now imagine a place you love where we can invite the two parts of you to talk. It could be a beach, a mountaintop, a forest, your grandmother's kitchen. Visualize 3 places to sit, one for each of your parts and one for your current self. Now bring to mind the part of you that wants to have a baby. Allow yourself to imagine all your hopes and dreams for having a child. Imagine the joy your family might feel with a new baby. Picture this part of you that wants to have a baby. It may look like a grown woman, it may look like you. It might look like a little girl, or it could even look like your heart. Allow yourself to appreciate that part and make a place for it to sit. Thank this part of you for its loving intentions. Now bring to mind the part of yourself that doesn't want to have a baby. Feel the fears and concerns this part carries. Find the thoughts that make this part believe that abortion might be the best choice, the most responsible choice. Hear the thoughts of this part, the arguments it has made against having a baby. Allow yourself to see this part of you. What best symbolizes this part? Does it look like you, or younger or older, or a child, or even your brain? Choose where this part will sit and thank this part of you for its loving intentions. Now allow your current time self to take the third seat. Good. Now I have a few questions to ask your parts. Allow yourself to give a voice to the part that is answering, either out loud or silently to yourself. First, I'd like to talk with the part that wants to have a baby. I'll call her the baby part. Baby part, you have known this current woman for a long time, haven't you? Baby part, can you tell me what your strengths are and how you're trying to help this current time woman? What do you want for her specifically? And what do you want for her overall? What would you like to ask her? Allow yourself to answer the question. Now I'd like to talk with the part that doesn't want to have a baby, that's thinking about abortion. I'll call her the abortion part. Abortion part, you have also known this woman for a long time, haven't you? Can you tell me what your strengths are, abortion part? How are you trying to help this grown-up woman? What do you want for her? What would you like to ask her? Now, present time woman, do you notice that they both want what is best for you? Baby part, what would you like to ask the abortion part? Go ahead and ask her directly, and then listen for her answer. What would you like to tell her? Baby part, what do you understand as abortion part's worries or concerns about having a baby? Thank you. Now, abortion part, what would you like to ask the baby part? Go ahead and ask her directly, and then listen for her answer. What would you like to tell her? Go ahead and tell her she's right here. Now, abortion part, tell me what you understand about why that baby part wants to have a baby. And what are her worries or concerns about having an abortion? Thank you both. Now allow the two parts of you to come together and express their appreciation for each other in whatever way they want. They might hold hands or they might hug. Thank you two both for being here and for caring so much about this woman and her happiness. Now you have a choice to make. You can leave these two here where you know where to find them and know that you can come back and talk with them again. Or you can make them very small and press them into your heart and know that they are there. Whichever one you'd like to do that now. Now take a deep breath and open your eyes, feeling awake, alert, refreshed, and deeply peaceful. Now you know that both parts of you can understand and appreciate the hopes and fears of the other part, and both parts want only the best for you. you can know that they are both on your side and that in the long run, you and your family will be okay no matter which choice you make. Take a few minutes to write about this experience. What did you notice? What surprised you? How do you feel? You are going to see significant changes in your life over the next few days just from doing this beautiful piece of work. You may notice dreams or realizations. Watch the second video in this series whenever you are ready. This is Charlotte, sending you good thoughts until next time.